Whether your building is supposed to be a type 1 construction, but you are not aware. Fire safety is incredibly important, and to that end, it's critical for construction professionals to know how a building will perform in the event of a fire as they set about constructing it. Building codes classify buildings into different types based on their fire resistance, and the type of construction considered the most robust and able to last the longest in a fire is type 1 construction. Here, we will explain what type 1 construction is, what projects use this type of construction, and what materials are used for it. Hi friends, if you are an architect or an engineer or any professional attached to the construction or real estate industry, then to know the secret and benefits, you can't afford to miss this informative video anymore. Stay tuned and watch till the end and unlock the hidden potentiality. It is a compilation of useful knowledge as available, blended with potential and practical exposures and experiences earned from project sites. Hello friends, myself Avijit Datta. You are watching our YouTube channel Smart Engineers. As you know, in Smart Engineers, our motto is to discuss about the subject matter which are not covered adequately in our college course curriculum, but there is a huge demand or requirement in practical or professional field or in industry. Let's try to bridge this huge gap between the academia and industry and develop our country. Before we proceed further, request you all to subscribe our this informative channel and press bell icon for immediate all future notification and updation. Friends, if you haven't watched our earlier two career advancement videos, that is how to earn IGBC AP certification in next 2 weeks, that too in first attempt, and how to become IBBI registered valuer and earn huge. Please watch them and get hugely benefited. Also, check out our practical research work on pre-stress concrete and how to do APDM flooring, a foolproof solution for building waterproofing, smart engineering approach, basement or underground structure waterproofing, where and how to place construction joints in concrete, second pile shoring system, how to execute and manage deep excavation, use rebar coupler for huge benefits in your project. Do you know the new innovative top-down construction and its advantages? How to check RMC quality supplied to your projects? You will get all these informative videos in our YouTube channel. Please go through and upgrade yourself. Disclaimer: this video is prepared for educational purposes only. The intent is to bridge the gap between academia and industry while compiling the subject matter. A few images and videos were taken from the internet for appropriate presentation and fair use. Neither any copyright claimed on those nor any copyright infringement intended. Also, as it is an educational presentation, it shall not be used for any legal or other use. Introduction. Although many buildings look similar at first glance, the underlying materials affect their cost and durability, especially in an emergency. The design of any building and the type of materials used in its construction are important factors in making the building resistant to a complete burnt out and in preventing the rapid spread of fire, smoke, or fumes, which may otherwise contribute to the loss of lives and property. The types of construction according to fire resistance are classified into four categories, namely Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, and Type 4 construction. The fire resistance ratings for various types of construction for structural and non-structural members should be as given in Table 1. Indian National Building Codes, earlier 2005 and subsequent 2016 revisions, and respective Code of Practice, that is IS 1642 1989 reaffirmed 2000, classify all structures from type 1 to type 4, and this building type reveals crucial information such as fire resistance rating, that is FRR. This code, part 4, deals with safety from fire. It specifies the demarcation of fire zones, restrictions on construction of buildings in each fire zone, classification of buildings based on occupancy, types of building construction according to fire resistance of the structural and non-structural components, and other restrictions and requirements necessary to minimize danger to life from fire, smoke, fumes, or panic before the buildings can be evacuated. The code recognizes that safety of life is more than a matter of means to egress and accordingly deals with various matters which are considered essential to the safety of life. But the most surprising and unfortunate fact is that though the NBC and respective code of practice has been rolled out approximately 8 years or more till date, the awareness is not there with concerned, that is architects, consultants, engineers, developers, and other associated stakeholders. The aim of this presentation is to bridge the said gap and make our buildings more safer from fire and fire related hazards. Preface. In this presentation, we will discuss only on Group A, that is residential building, and its subdivision A4, that is apartment houses, as per NBC 2016, where method of construction is either conventional RCC frame structure of load-bearing RCC shear wall system, generally being executed by aluminum system formwork. While making this presentation, references mainly taken from the followings. This presentation is focused on mainly the minimum dimension required for RCC structural members with their cover requirements for Type 1 construction. Other architectural, structural, building services and interiors related requirements, please follow respective sections or code of practices. Please note, while studying, few anomalies observed between above references. however, preference given on NBC 16 over other code of practices. Here you can see a pictorial representation of comparison between conventional beam column frames with shear wall system versus LBS W system, that is load bearing shear wall system. These are the two relevant codes in our country, NBC 2016 and IS 1642 reaffirmed 2000. Classification of buildings based on occupancy. All buildings, whether existing or thereafter erected, shall be classified according to use or the character of occupancy in one of the following groups. Next, it comes fire zones. Demarcation. The city or area under the jurisdiction of the authority shall, for the purpose of the code, be demarcated into district zones based on fire hazard inherent in the buildings and structures according to occupancy. Please refer section 3.1 of NBC 2016, which shall be called as fire zones. Now let us understand the number and designation of fire zones. The fire zones shall be made use of inland use development plan and shall be designated as follows. That is fire zone 1. Next it is fire zone 2 and fire zone 3. Restrictions on the type of construction for new buildings. These shall be as follows. Type of construction. The design of any building and the type of materials used in its construction are important factors in making the building resistant to a complete burnout and in preventing the rapid spread of fire, smoke, or fumes, which may otherwise contribute to the loss of lives and property. The fire resistance of a building or its structural and non-structural elements is expressed in minutes against a specified fire load, which is expressed in kilocalorie per meter square, and against a certain intensity of fire. All buildings shall satisfy certain requirements which contribute individually or collectively to the safety of life from fire, smoke, fumes, and panic arising from these or similar causes. Here, as you can see, for residential building facing one public street at least 9 meter wide and having a FAR is more than 2 should be type 1 construction. For type 1 construction, it is required that a structural or non-structural element or component shall have the requisite fire resistance rating as per table 1 furnished in NBC 2016. Apart from that, for other requirements, please follow respective sections or code of practices. Here it is the table 1, that fire resistance ratings of structural and non-structural elements. Please go through in detail. Now, as a gist, we can say in case of type 1 construction, having fire separation of 9 meter or more, following minimum fire resistance rating need to be adhered. Minimum dimension required for beams, slabs, columns, shear walls, etc. Further details. This one is for reinforced concrete column. Now it is for concrete beams. This one is for concrete floors, that is slabs. Here the FRR matrix prepared for a ready reference where the location, member, type, required FRR, type of materials, minimum thickness or width required, minimum cover required, and minimum percentage of reinforcement required, mentioned in a tabular form for ready reference. Architectural issues, case study. Now, once we got acquaintance about the Type 1 construction and proceed for its design and execution, following few issues may crop up in project sites. Case study 1 for conventional column beam frame structure. Please go through in detail. And then case study 2 for load bearing RCC shear wall system. A pictorial representation furnished here. And now a solution of these kind of issues. Further reading, you may refer CD 38, Draft Standard Criteria for Structural Safety of Tall Buildings, for your further upgradation. Thermal transmission of wall and roof. In this annexure 1, calculation of thermal transmittance, that is U value of roof and wall, furnished for your ready reference and use. Because while taking decision about thickness of wall and roof, not only the FRR, thermal transmittance, that is U value, is also very important to make the building suitable for comfort living. Now few commentary had I had researched on this particular subject matter. Thank you for watching. Further, if you wish to implement the same in your building or project or property and organization and add or earn values, may contact us for further supports. Once again, request you all to subscribe our this informative channel and press bell icon for immediate all future updation and notification. Also share with your friends and contacts you feel will be of their use, because sharing is caring. Thank you all. Hope to see you in next video. Namaskar.